Hey guys, haven't done a video in a while. Well, I guess I just uploaded one about an hour ago, but that was the first one I've uploaded in months and months. I don't know, so many months, 4 or 5 months, at least 3. I think more like 4 or 5 months. Anyway, I'm doing pretty well. I hope everybody else is doing good. As you guys know, I moved to Texas. I'm living in Lakeway. It's really nice, except it's been hot, but we're getting some rain today, so for the first time, or the second time this month, we've got rain. So anyway, this is just my CBD oil. Oh, the CBD, this is CBD cream for when I get muscle pain. And this was a medicine I was taking for Lyme disease, Lyme symptoms. Pretty nasty stuff. The disease and the medicine's really nasty. But anyway, this is actually an unboxing video. Yes, the purpose of this video today is an unboxing video. I just got a Chromebook. And actually, the cool thing about this is there's no this Chromebook is so new. There's actually no reviews yet on this model. Or I think I found one review, but it was the guy really did a terrible review. He never turned it on. Which I'm going to turn it on and show you guys. I'm not a real tech-savvy guy, and that's kind of why I got the Chromebook. The Chromebook is kind of the best of both worlds as far as the, Android, cell phones, smartphones, the simplicity of a smartphone with a laptop. Because sometimes when you're looking at something on your phone, when you're analyzing something complex like charts or graphs, and you need to move from one thing to the other and kind of put everything into perspective, and when you're on a phone you're just back and forth and you can't really read a bunch of things at once. You can't absorb. You're kind of back and forth, and it kind of shortens your attention span. Whereas when you're on a laptop or a desktop computer, you kind of see everything all at once on the screen, because the screen's bigger, So, the Chromebook is the best of both worlds. It's a big screen. Usually the screens are a little smaller than some laptops, but it's big enough, It's almost like a tablet with a keyboard. It uses the Android system. It's got the simplicity of the Android system, but it's not on a small screen like a phone, and it's a little bigger than a tablet. My screen is actually 14 inches, so that's the size of an average size laptop, really. I think most laptops are about 15.6, but there are many laptops that are 14. So as far as Chromebooks go, the 14-inch screen is a little larger than most. Most of the screens are about 11.6, I think, is the size of many of the screens is a standard size. That's kind of small. Then they go up to 12, maybe 13. Well, mine's 14, so mine's fairly large for a Chromebook. But anyway, here it is. Got it from CDW, computer. What is it? Computer something warehouse. Computer discount warehouse. CDW, and it got a fair price. I could have got it a little cheaper on B&H Photo. But I got a fully hooked up model, 64 RAM. I'm sorry, 64 internal memory. Flash, now solid state, so it's not like the hard drive where it's, you got the disk always spinning, and you need the fan to cool it off and all that. Solid state, no moving parts, like a cell phone, This computer is about half as powerful as an iPhone. iPhones are very powerful, but it's probably twice or 4 times as powerful as your average cell phone. Okay, it's not as powerful as a computer, but I for what I'm going to be doing, business and stuff, I'm not going to need that. You know, I'm not going to need a powerful computer with Windows and all that. And that's the other thing, is the Android is a much simpler interface. It uses apps, and you store a lot of the stuff on the cloud, so you don't need a big internal memory. 64 is more than enough. Now, this model actually comes with 3 different models. There's the model with, and 15 minutes later, and I lost my train of thought. Sorry, guys. My parents just got home. They went to get some pizza. So anyway, where were we? So yeah, simpler interface, and that's the way I like it. And like I said, I wouldn't suggest you guys playing any games. You really can't. You can play some games, but they're sort of like just apps, app games, phone games. No CD-ROM. I guess the laptops now don't have CD-ROMs. Like I said, I'm not a big tech guy. I've kind of been out of the loop for a while. I've been using my phone for the last several years. I haven't really had a desktop in quite some time. That was online anyway. But anyway, yeah, no games and no Windows. Just a simple interface if you're a simple guy like me, and this fits my needs just perfectly. You know, there's other benefits too with getting a Chromebook over a laptop. You know, besides the fact that it's more like a condensed version of a laptop, a lighter, more compact version, if you will. But like I said, there's no reviews on this model yet, so it's called a 14E Lenovo. So anyway, you guys are probably wondering how I selected this model, this particular model. And I'm going to show you guys. So, let me get my light on here. Sorry. I should have been set up. So this is how I got to where I'm at. Chromebooks have something called a EOL, okay, end of life, also known as an AUE, which is the automatic update expiration. If you guys are familiar with devices, you might notice that one day suddenly your phone just doesn't work anymore. And it's almost as if they programmed the phone to stop working. Well, they did, and they never really revealed that fact. At least Google admits the fact that they have an expiration date programmed into your device, which is cool for them to admit that. So it's called the end of life, and if you go on their automatic update expiration, which is when the security information, I mean the security updates, your version updates, if you will, for the hardware, they expire, and they will no longer make updates that will download onto your device. Okay? So in selecting, I looked up all the models with the June 2025 expiration, update expiration, because I wanted to have this thing for as long as possible. And they also do extensions. So June 2025 is the minimum. It could go as far as June 2027. So that's about, 8.5 years. Or I'm sorry. No, that's about 8 years. Okay? Close to 8 years. And there's ways around it too. You can install Linux on this. And like I was saying earlier, there are some advantages to having a Chromebook over a regular laptop. Okay, the Chromebooks use the Chrome OS, the Chrome operating system that's it's proprietary to Google. Google owns it. Okay, it's their proprietary product. So there's not many viruses for Chrome OS. It's really just about as safe as your cell phone. Okay, I mean, there are some little viruses you can get, but that's mostly adware or malware. And there really isn't much of that even on a Chrome OS. Chrome OS is like the safest. In fact, they actually challenged somebody $1 million. Any programmer challenged them. Google set out a challenge. $1 million if you can hack a Chromebook. And they couldn't. Nobody ever collected that money. It never happened. It's practically unhackable. So if you're doing like banking or any, sensitive business where you're worried about either your data getting stolen or a password or anything like that, you're safe. They can't steal your keystrokes. They can't really do anything because the updates and the updates are seamless. Unlike Windows where you get an update and then it's got a bug and then you need a patch, and then as soon as you get all your patches and the update finally starts working okay after so many months, then they come up with a new update and you got to go through the whole thing all over again. It takes hours to update. It might take all day to update. With the Chromebook, the update happens in the background. You don't even know what's happening, okay? The security updates are bug-free. You don't even know they're happening, and they happen much, much faster than Microsoft update, And the other thing I like about Chromebooks is they have touchscreens. Now, I know there are laptops now that have touchscreens, but they're gonna run you over $1,000 if you want to use Microsoft Surface. My Chromebook cost about $300, and it's got all the bells and whistles. It's got 64 gigs of internal memory, which is the maximum you can get with this. I fully loaded this. It has IPS, which is in-plane switching, which is a feature a feature on the display, okay? And it has the highest resolution. This particular model I got has the highest resolution of any model, okay? It's nearly 2K. It's I think it's 1920 by 1080p. But anyway, the other reason that a Chromebook is better than a laptop is simply because it's just easier. It's just easier to use. It's more intuitive, and it's easier, and it's more user-friendly than a desktop. So, like I said, overall, it's the best of both worlds. The best of the smartphone and the best of the laptop combined. So anyway, back to how I selected this model. First, I got a list of all the automatic updates, which the newest models with the longest expiration. And I went through the list, and I came out with 20. Okay, I came out with 20 models: 11 from Acer, 2 from Asus, 3 from Dell, and 4 from Lenovo. And then once I got those all the models that would expire in 2025, June of 2025. Then well, this is something separate. I also listed what are the specs? What are the most important specs to me? Display quality, LTE capable. Now, LTE capable means that they're starting now to. This one that I got isn't LTE capable. If you want an LTE capable Chromebook, which means that data can come over the Chromebook, which means if you leave the house and you don't have your Wi-Fi anymore, well, it picks up data just like a cell phone, where you can connect on Wi-Fi or you can use your data. And data is usually unlimited now. But unfortunately, if you want to get a Chromebook that is LTE capable, you have to lease one from either Verizon. I think T-Mobile has one now, and probably AT&T. But you got to lease one. They're like $25 a month plus the cost of service. And $25 a month after so many months. By the end of the year, now you've paid $300, which is the cost of owning one. and they want a 24-month lease, so that's $600. And then after you pay $600, you still don't even own the thing. So that doesn't really work for me. So hopefully in the future more will be LTE capable, and you can just go in and buy the phone without having to sign a contract, and maybe just do the month-to-month thing, and if you don't pay your bill, you still can get on Wi-Fi and all that. But that was a big one for me, but it didn't pan out as far as being LTE capable. But that's another cool thing about these Chromebooks. They are LTE capable, whereas laptops are not. Laptops, you're stuck at the Wi-Fi. You know, you're stuck at Starbucks. You can't really go very far. Let's see, we're getting to 15 minutes, so I'm going to cut this at 20, and I'm just going to do a part 2. This is the whole list, though. You know, then we go to display size, and speaker quality, and durability. Processor power is at the very bottom. I don't need a lot of speed. I'm not playing video games. I'm only running apps. You know, I don't need something much more powerful than a cell phone, really. You know, but I do like to have more windows and stuff like that. So, you know, but processor power never really comes into play, and neither does really RAM. Okay. I'm more for the top 3, you know, durability. Internal memory is pretty important too. I like to have a lot of files and stuff. But, you know, mostly it's display, it's, you know, sight, sound, durability, which mine does have an aluminum housing. It's mostly metal, and internal memory. Okay, so I listed my once I got the 20 models, I narrowed it down to 20 models, because there's a lot of these things. I mean, there's hundreds of these Chromebooks in existence now. I wanted the newest one with the best automatic update expiration, and then I listed what specs do I want. What am I looking for here? Okay. Then I moved on to got out of focus here. I moved on to the price of these top 20. Okay? What are my prices? What are my prices? I wanted to get the most for my money. Alright? These are all the models. Okay. Then I narrowed it down to 3. Because I wanted a big screen. So I narrowed it down to 3. And this was the breakdown here. The Acer Chromebook 315. CB315-2H. Acers, they have long model numbers. The Dell Chromebook 3400 and the Lenovo 14E, which is the one I got. Well, the Acer has the biggest screen, 15-inch. Okay, 15.6 inch. So nearly 1.5 inches bigger than the 14. The Dell Chromebook has really good sound, okay? Stereo and HD sound. And the Lenovo has the best display as far as resolution. See, now the other resolutions were, okay, 1366 by 768 LED backlight. This one the same resolution. LCD, no LED backlight, by the way. Same brightness. But the Lenovo has 14-inch screen, which is relatively big. The others are 14 too, and the top one is, like I said, is 15. But LCD 1920, like I said, by 1080p resolution. So better resolution with IPS. Okay, that's in-plane switching. In-plane switching is something that was on video games or arcade machines in the early 90s. It was a new technology. It basically just makes the edges of different things on your screen look more natural. It makes the shading look better. It's a big component in video games. Gamers love IPS. So not only does it have better resolution, it has IPS and it has an LED backlight. Okay, so it's and it's anti-glare, so it's really nice. There's your memory. Now I got an upgraded memory. I got 8 gigs instead of 4, and I got 64 gigs of internal memory instead of 32. So, but these are the specs on. So this one's the big screen, that one's the HD sound, and that one's the best display. They're all about the same speed. You know, but then I ranked them. So this is like number 2 display, number 2, number 2. This one's mostly number 1s, except the display came in 3rd place. And then this one, display 1st place, you know, 2nd place CPU speed, 3rd or 2nd place tied with the Acer, and then 3rd place sound and memory, which is fine. In fact, I got the memory upgrade, so actually that would have been 1st place with the upgrade. And it's got a touch screen, so we're good. We're good. We're past 20 minutes, so I'm gonna unbox it in the next video, and I hope I didn't bore you guys to death with all the chatter.